Hey, so I wanted to talk a little bit about the full moon eclipse that is happening May 26th, and kind of explain a little bit about like what it is. And since there's already a plethora of like spiritual videos regarding its energy, but not a whole lot of like scientific videos about it. I mean, you could research for yourself, but as a witch who, I don't know, is motivated also by science, I figured, hey, I'll throw my opinion on the internet, you know? Okay. So, and my camera's out of space, so I'm filming on my phone, so if I keep like, I don't know, reaching up and hitting the button or whatever, that's because my phone is also running out of space, so every time it stops, I have to go and delete something. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so like alchemy, well, I'll take alchemy out of it. So astrology and astronomy used to be one and the same. They used to be practiced together. And so, like, I don't know, look up Pythagoras, like Pythagorean theorem, the Pythagoras, the guy who studies triangles, Pythagoras. Anyway, he was an astrologer as well. Okay, so full moon, lunar eclipse. So an eclipse, so the sun, we'll do sun, earth, moon. Okay. So sun, earth, moon. The sun casts a shadow onto earth. So, the sun casts a shadow onto earth in two ways, all right? So the, well, this is really difficult to draw like this, but so this is the sun, this is earth, earth, and then this is like the moon. Okay, so it casts a shadow onto the moon in two different ways. So this, I need to turn around. Okay, so the bigger shadow here is called the penumbra, N-U-M-B-R-A, the penumbra, and then this is the umbra, U-M-B-R-A. And so, okay, so I redrew my little graph with the glyphs in it. So like this is the glyph for sun, and yes, I realize that looks like a tit now. This is the glyph for earth, and then obviously moon. But so that way, kind of know what I'm talking about. But when the moon is fully in the umbra, and again, this is the umbra, and then this is the penumbra, P-E-N-U-M-B-R-A. So when the moon is fully in the umbra, like it was, that is a total lunar eclipse. So when the moon is only part in the umbra, and then part, because this is also the penumbra, P-E-N-U, we'll just call it Penu. So when the moon's only part way in the umbra and then part in the penumbra, this is called a partial lunar eclipse. And when the moon is not in the umbra, and so when the moon is completely in the penumbra shadow, that is obviously called the penumbral. Big words are hard when you have dyslexia. But that's called the penumbral lunar eclipse. So yeah, three kinds: the total, partial, and penumbral lunar eclipses. The one that is happening on May 26th is going to be a total lunar eclipse. And so the total lunar eclipse, so the moon will be completely in the umbral shadow. That will, and so how the moon will look is it'll turn a red color because of like how the shadow or whatever. That's why it's called a blood moon, because of the color. Now that does get confusing because it's also called like a blood moon in October. So like the full moon in October is referred to as a blood moon, and then this type of lunar eclipse is also referred to a blood moon. The one in October, or like I want to say it's also the harvest moon, that one is because typically it's like something to do with like the first hunt of the year, the hunter's moon, or the first first hunt of the year, the hunt, something like that. And then, so blood moon, you know, due to hunting. And then this one, it's, you know, for the eclipse being a blood moon, that's due to the color, because it'll turn like a really dark, like red color. My hair's driving me nuts. Anyway, I didn't put on makeup or do my hair today, so I didn't really plan on filming. Where the fuck am I going with this? Anyway, so I looked this up for like where I'm at in Iowa. So this will be a little bit different. But one of the really cool things about this eclipse, and I mean, if you've looked up anything on the internet, you're aware that the moon's going to be in the sign of Sagittarius, sun sign Gemini. But this is also going to be a supermoon, and so a supermoon means that it's like super close to Earth. And so it'll appear really big. It'll be really close. So the moon's presence will be very energetically influential. Places on the ocean will notice this a lot with like the tides and stuff. Like I think it'll be affecting like the western more, like San Francisco, not LA. Like I think it'll be more affecting along the west coast. I could be wrong. Again, I'm in Iowa, so I didn't really look that far into it in regards to tides. But so anyway, it'll be super. So, but one of the cool things about the distance that it's going to be, because like I don't know if anybody knows me, like I like to incorporate all different aspects of shit. So the distance that the moon will be from the Earth is going to be 222,022 miles away. So you can see there. That's how many miles away it'll be. Kilometers wise, it'll be 357,311 kilometers away. Now when you add all of those up, that'll come down to like, if you're into numerology, add them all up, whatever, get the single digit. That will also equal 2. So a lot of like coupling energy, and there are so many. So now, then 2 energy, a lot of times we'll like look at like partners and like romance and like relationships and shit with like that number, but I'm not picking up that. So the sun being in the sign of Gemini, I'm picking up more polarities. So kind of like how Gemini, it's like the twins and everything. I have the chart pulled up on my computer or whatever. So then for those of you who are familiar with astrology, Theo, stop. Gemini is opposite sign of Sagittarius, and so Sagittarius is, again, with the full moon, is going to be in. So they're going, lunar eclipse, like they're going to be opposed right now. But the Gemini energy is not, the sun is not the only planet that is in the sign of Gemini at that moment. So Mercury and Venus will also be in the sign of Gemini. So the North Node is also in the sign of Gemini, and South Node in the sign of Sagittarius. And so, yeah, with like Gemini, you know, you have like the twins energy, but like Gemini is also ruled by Mercury. So then with Mercury in the sign of Gemini, and then like how I was talking about all of the 2 energies, but then Venus is also in the sign of Gemini. And then with the like North Node in the sign of Gemini, South Node in Sagittarius, but then the moon being a supermoon with Sagittarian energy, like I always just think of Alexander the Great, like super, you know, like explorer, but like also like passionate, also that fire energy. Like anytime I think of Sagittarius, it's just Alexander the Great, like that type of energy. So yeah, but then we have Mars and Jupiter in water signs, and not just any water signs, Cancer and Pisces. So like Scorpio, you know, that's fire and ice. Like, you know, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto and Mars, so you have like water, but you also have fire. So Mars rules passions. It rules a lot of things, but for the sake of this, I'm just talking about passions and like what motivates you, kind of thing. So ruled by the sign of Cancer. And then Jupiter is ruled by the sign of Pisces right now. So, and then Jupiter is now like, so Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, but it used to be Pisces. So like each planet and signs have like their own like rulers, and kind of how before I just said like Scorpio is like Pluto and Mars, like Jupiter is like Pisces and Sagittarius. So the fact that, and so Jupiter is the planet about like expansion. It's also like good luck. And I love to look at people's charts, and then so what I was saying is I like to look at people's charts and then look at their like Jupiter and Mars placements together to then kind of see what will drive somebody energetically, but then what also will like bring them luck and like help them expand. So the fact that like Jupiter is in the sign of like one of its like ruling signs, but then it also is ruled by Sagittarius, which is what the like lunar super moon eclipse is in, which is going to be really influential, because again, it's not just like the total eclipse, which is a lot of energy, but it's also a super moon, so a lot of like energy. That's also in the sign of Sagittarius, so it's going to be very like expansive energy. And because they're both, Jupiter and Mars are both in water signs, that's also going to be a lot of like psychic energy, a lot of emotional energy. And what does the moon rule? It rules your emotions. And like, so I don't know. So just turned a light on. But yeah, so the fact that it's like, it's a lot of crazy energy, and then you combine that with all the Gemini energy, and then all the like numerology, like energy of the two, big things. It's a lot of energy. And a lot of psychic, a lot of passion, and a lot of polarity energies all together. Yeah. Well, and both Sagittarius and Gemini are mutable. So, this energy will affect everybody very differently. Pull up your entire chart. I know that like new age stuff is like popular right now, and so everybody like knows their sun, moon, and rising, but you need to pull up your whole chart because your sun, moon, and rising, so what element you're ruled by right now. So like when you pull up your whole chart, the signs are all in different elements, so whatever element that your chart encompasses the most of. So like if it's predominantly water, predominantly fire, predominantly air, predominantly earth, that will make a big difference. And like, I mean, your chart could be, you know, primarily fucking earth, and your sun, moon, and rising could be in like air and fire. And so like look up your whole chart. Like stop with that sun, moon, rising bullshit. I mean, it's not bullshit, but like your whole chart's what matters. So, and this is also happening on Wednesday, and Wednesday is ruled by Mercury, ruled by Gemini, so more of that energy. Yeah, so this is going to be, it's going to be an intense week. It's going to be a very energetic week. Honestly, I would kind of do some meditation and see energetically what you need to do, because like I don't want to say water signs or whatever signs because each person could be very different, but you know, some people will really need to kind of like take a step back, take away from other people, like just like only be around their own energy and like nobody else's. Other people will be like very passionate and like, let's be creative, let's get stuff done, da 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 da. Some people will like have like high mental stimulation. Pluto's also retrograde. Oh yeah, I got cut off, but like a lot of like mental stimulation, eager to learn, eager to take things in, very like quick. Earth, it'd probably be beneficial for everyone to like go fucking hug a tree, to be honest. It could be also very grounding for some people, and I know you're kind of like, you just talked a lot about like air and fire and water, you didn't talk about earth, and true, but with all of the like polarity energy right now, as well as like the duality of like, you know, that too, and then Pluto being retrograde also in the sign of Capricorn, depending on where your 8th house, or what's in your, how do I put this? Also, I just want to clarify, Pluto is not air energy. I kind of like, my brain's like ping pong balling right now. So I kind of just made it sound like Pluto had Gemini energy, and that's not the case. But for people who've kind of done a lot of transformation, people who have like a lot of, I want to be careful how I say this. It could be a very, I'm just going to put it this way. It could be a very grounding time for some people. Probably not the majority of people, but for some, it could be. I'll kind of just leave it at that, because the odds are, if you're watching this, is probably not, I don't know. And yeah, I digress. So what to do? Work with the energy you're feeling. Like, don't, watch a bunch of videos and be like, oh, this is a time where I want to do a bunch of rituals, or this is a time where, I want to start creating a bunch of new things, or this is a time where I want to like relax and chill out away from people. Like, see how you're feeling. Because of all of the like really intense energy, it will affect everybody completely differently, and how you might think it's going to be, it could be very different. So if like the slightest thing is like pissing you off and you're getting really fucking frustrated, like take a step back, like, take some time to yourself type of thing. That's a lot of like passion energy. Or go, seclude yourself in a thing and throw some plates against a wall and like get it out. Like, go, like, just whatever you do, like, do it passionately. If it's going to be work with inspiration, not obligation, especially during this time. Do not do anything. Work with inspiration, not obligation. So I don't know where the video cut me off or whatever last, but like, do not do anything you feel obligated to do. Work out of inspiration. Work out of passion. Or like, not even necessarily work. I don't like that word. All of your actions should be fueled by your passions or inspiration. And if that means like you're fucking pissed and you need to like break some things, like go break some things, get that anger released. If it feels like you're very energetically drained and you just need to like stay in bed or whatever, do that. But like literally kind of like go with the energy, literally go with the flow. But like, typically I'd get out, one of my like ritual books and be like, this is what you could do on a blood moon, and like, this is the type of magic, whatever. But like, now that I pulled up the chart and I'm seeing like all the intensities as well as like the polarities as well, like, we all have like our day-to-day habits and stuff like that. But like, this is a time where it's really kind of like work with like the universal energy right now. And yeah, that could be different for different people. And like I said, I'm typically someone who it's like, oh, this is a blood moon. This is a moon in like the sign of Sagittarius. This is a like lunar eclipse or whatever. Like, and I, look at a bunch of my like grimoires, Book of Shadows, spell books, whatever, to like figure out, types of rituals to do. But it's very much like, no, stop doing what you think you're supposed to do. Do what inspires you. Do what you feel passionate about doing. Do what drives you, and do what makes you happy and smile. And anger could make people happy. I keep going back to this because I keep saying that is because people like often associate like fire energy or anger and stuff as like being a bad thing, and it's not a bad thing. It's literally just passion. So like, but work, fire, passion. So, oh yeah, anger make you happy. So if, exerting a bunch of like anger makes you happy, and like you're, like being aggressive makes you happy, like go be aggressive, or whatever that like thing is. But yeah, like, you want to make sure that like whatever you're doing also like makes your soul smile, not like your ego or your like persona, but like your soul makes you happy. And that could be what, big picture, it could be small picture, it could be like, you know, anyway, I'll try to wrap it up, but a lot of energy right now, very transformative. Listen to yourself. Start going within. Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably post more shit later. Before then, I don't know. I'm definitely going with what I feel too. So, I don't know. Okay, thanks. Bye. So I just watched back like what I had recorded earlier or whatever, and kind of started out talking about like, you know, what an eclipse is and like the science behind it, and then I just started looking up the chart and I don't know, spiraled into a whole different thing and like completely lost my train of thought. Yeah, so if you're not aware, I have ADHD, and that time of day is when my meds start to wear off. So, yeah, that's kind of what the stuttering is. That's kind of what, you know, the starting a sentence and then just losing wherever the fuck it's going. But yeah, my intention was to go over, like, what an eclipse, like, the different types of lunar eclipses is, which, like, I mean, I did that, but then kind of talk about, like, why the energy would be so impactful, and then I wanted to look at the chart and look at the angles and the aspects within the chart and kind of explain like some of the math and stuff behind that. But then when I had pulled up the chart for that day, I was like, I don't know, I got sidetracked and was like, oh, this is going to be a lot of energy and impact everybody like very differently depending on like each person's chart. And then when I would go to say something like, let's say, you know, you have a predominantly fire chart, like this is what it'll feel like. And I was like, oh no, because it would depend on what stage they're at, like how much like work they've done, and like one fire sign might have this energy like impact them in this aspect, and then this said person, like it's such intense energy that like will affect everybody like so differently. And I didn't want to generalize like a bunch of people. So it's kind of just like pretty vague and not what I had originally planned to say, but I don't know. Here you go, internet. It is what it is, I guess. I don't know if this was helpful. Probably not. I hope it was helpful. I hope you took something away from it. I don't know. Good luck, everybody. Let me know how... Actually, yeah. Let me know how it, like, had affected. Let me, after the lunar eclipse, let me know your experience. Oh, there's going to be a shift. But everybody on the internet's kind of telling you that already. I wanted to add new information, but I don't think I did that. But, oh well. Let me know how it goes. Good luck, and I love you, and be inspired, not obligated. That's the takeaway.